What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new live stream. Hope everyone is having a good week. And so we'll get in the chat. Bonsai, Melissa, Lisa, Jim, Tim. What's up? Underground. What's up? Shin Hate. Jahira. Of course, we got Tristan. Doing well, a little bit tired because I just took a little nap. Still tired. Overall, I'm doing good. Well, that's good. But yeah. Without further ado, let's just get into it. So, the actors, the Screen Actors Guild, they've been meetings and negotiations have been starting Monday. They didn't come to a deal on Monday, but I already see people overreacting, saying no deal. Oh no. Relax. It's not gonna happen overnight. Like we talked about this in Karate Network the other night. They're not gonna come to a deal overnight. It's probably gonna take a week or two to get a deal done for the actors. So, but I think it's close to them getting a deal done, and yeah. So I don't think it'll be long now. As soon as the actors get their deal, their Cobra Kai season 6 can go back to filming. I think the writers right now, they're going over the scripts and making the necessary changes that they need to and whatnot. And when the actors strike is officially over, they can get the cast back together and they can get back to working on season 6. But the whole filming process is going to be a while because it was supposed to go from May to December, and now they're wicked behind schedule. So it's probably going to take like a big chunk of 2024 to film season 6, because apparently season 6 is the biggest one yet, according to Hayden Schlossberg. But it's crazy. We really only have 2 months left of the year. It's October, November, December. Not long until 2024. So yeah. 2024 is going to come quicker than we think. That's true. I'm actually excited for 2024. Okay. Have you heard anything about them at least coming close? No, I haven't really heard anything, but all I know is that they started negotiating on Monday, and that no deal was agreed upon yet. But like I said, it's probably going to take the whole week, maybe next week as well. You never know. But knowing my luck, I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow we get a notification that actor strike is over, new deal agreed upon. But we'll have to be a little bit patient with this. But as you see in the banner below, I also want to get into release date predictions. Now, whenever they get back to filming, which you got to consider, they got to do post-production as well. When do I think season 6 is going to release? The earliest I can see season 6 coming out is December 27th, 2024. They love the December/January release dates, and it has to be a Friday. So the 27th is the latest Friday that's in the month. However, there's another release date that I think makes too much sense, and that is May 2nd, 2025. Now, season 1 was released May 2nd, 2018, so this would mark the 7th anniversary of Cobra Kai season 1, for a good 7 years. And I think it just makes way too much sense. The first season releases May 2nd, and you release the final season on May 2nd. I think that makes way too much sense. So obviously, I think May 2nd, 2025 is the latest. But we also have to consider that they may split this season into volumes. That is a possibility, but we don't know that yet for sure. But let's see. I actually think season 6 released May 2nd, 2025, and that's the day when season 1 released. Yeah. And I double checked. It is a Friday, so it makes too much sense. But let's see what Melissa says. I would say if we're lucky, we can get at earliest a December 2024 release date or January 2025 release date, or to make it more traditional, have it at least May 2025. Yeah, I know it would May 2025 would be an even longer wait, but I think it'll be worth it. Let's see. Hopefully they do that since it's the final season. Yeah, it would just make way too much sense. Release the final season on the day the first season came out. It just makes way too much sense. But we got 2 new Screen Rant articles that I want to get into. But 10 Cobra Kai moments that prove Daniel is even worse than Johnny. So this should be interesting. So 10. Daniel frequently forgetting in Cobra Kai's early seasons. That's funny. Number 9, Daniel's superior attitude towards Johnny in season 1. Yeah, I didn't like Daniel very much in season 1. I didn't like it. Daniel basically abandoning Robbie after Cobra Kai season 2. Yeah, I didn't really like that either. I mean, yeah, I get it. He was, being protective of his daughter and everything else, but yeah, he just went off on Robbie, and Daniel's temper is worse than Johnny's in Cobra Kai season 2. Yeah, whenever it comes to like Sam or like karate or whatever, or like his temper can get worse than Johnny's. He's a real hothead. Number 6, Daniel being more interested in his reputation than Miguel after season 2's ending. Okay, I never heard that before. 5, Daniel's relationship with Sam depends on karate and Cobra Kai. Okay, Daniel's repeated disregard for his wife's opinions throughout Cobra Kai. Okay, I guess they kind of have a point, because Amanda does try to be, the voice of reason, and Daniel doesn't always listen. See, it says right here, rare voice of reason in Cobra Kai. We're in the top 3. Daniel's inappropriate behavior toward Kumiko in season 3. What? Daniel blatantly disregarded Amanda's concerns becomes even more alarming when looking at his behavior towards Kumiko in season 3. His disappearance to Japan was bad enough, but while there, he reconnected with his old flame from the Karate Kid Part 2, of course. Most anyone would feel sentimental at such a reunion, but Daniel made it a little weird. There was clearly a bit of spark between the pair, and considering he had a wife frantically dealing with all his drama at home, Daniel should have steered clear of the situation. Even Johnny never put himself in a position to be disloyal to Carmen. Okay, I don't know what the hell this person's on, but that is just, yeah, that's baloney. Daniel being less willing to compromise with Johnny season 4. Yeah, I did not like that, bro. Like, as soon as Silver came back, Daniel was not willing to compromise with Johnny at all. Like, Daniel was like, okay, we got to double down on Miyagi-Do. I'm like, no, that's not going to work. They already know your style. Robbie already taught them your style. So you need to you need to go Johnny's way and be a little bit more aggressive offensively, which pretty much causes their downfall in season 4. Don't know how that happened. And what? Where's number 1? Was that number 1? This is number 2. Where's number 1? Okay, Daniel putting Chosen undercover was Silver in Cobra Kai season 5. I mean, Chosen volunteered to do that, so actually, I think it was Chosen's idea, actually. Believe it or not. And then this one other one, and then I think that's it. Cobra Kai has already set up its new Daniel versus Johnny rivalry for 30 years' time. Rivalry between Daniel and Johnny is the driving force of the show, making it difficult for other characters to replace or recreate this dynamic. Anthony and Kenny have the potential to become the next Daniel and Johnny with their shifting power dynamic and the foundation of a rivalry are established. I don't agree with that at all. I think that's ridiculous. Miguel and Robbie's rivalry is not comparable to Daniel and Johnny's, as their relationship is based on jealousy and has evolved to a friendship rather than a long-standing feud. Anthony and Kenny can be Cobra Kai's next Daniel and Johnny. Yeah, I don't agree with that at all. Okay, I don't agree with this either. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, I'm going to start inviting people earlier because poor Melissa didn't get to join last week because she had to she has work and all that, so poor Melissa was not able to join last week, so I want to make sure she gets a chance to join this stream before she has to leave. All right, here she is.
Bonsai. Thank you so much. You're really sweet. You're really sweet for doing that.
Oh, no problem.
Thank you so much. If you ask me, I mean, I agree with some of that stuff that what they said on Screen Rant about Daniel being a little bit worse than Johnny. Some of the stuff, like him being so stubborn about only learning Miyagi well in season 4 when it was clear that Silver's return actually should have should have spiked the fear in him of that learning Johnny's style, that combining his style and Johnny's style would actually be better. Because last time Silver didn't know what he was up against, but this time he did. So he was prepared.
Yeah.
And I don't think I mean, see, that just goes to show you though how similar Johnny and Daniel actually are. And I think that's how they played it. Like there are times when Daniel's worse, there are times when Johnny's worse. So that's why it's like more important that they work together, because whenever one of them gets worse than the other can usually calm the other down.
Yeah.
And it's I also think I didn't agree with that the other Screen Rant about Anthony and Kenny being the next Daniel and Johnny. I don't think so. I think they're going to end their rivalry right in season 6.
Yeah, I thought that was ridiculous.
Yeah. If you ask me, I think Sam and Tori are actually closer to the versions of Daniel and Johnny.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that.
And
100%.
even Daniel and Mike Barnes a little bit. Just given Tori's personality, how similar she is to Mike Barnes.
Yeah.
So I would say that. And I've said numerous times, I don't see them being friends in season 6. But allies nonetheless. And teammates in season 6 nonetheless. I agree. I just feel like so much damage has been done between the two that and yes, I get it. Yes, I know that Chosen and Daniel, they made up, they're karate cousins, they're friends, but that took 34 years. That was was 34 years, and they lived an entire world apart from each other. It's like, what are you going to do? Hate a guy that you don't even know if you're
two
going to
different
see
countries,
him?
Yeah.
So, and same thing with Daniel and Johnny. I mean, yeah, they weren't the best of friends. It took like 5 seasons, but I mean, for them to at least be like friends. But even though in the beginning they weren't the best of friends, but they hadn't seen each other again in 34 years. They were both grown adults. It's like same thing with Mike Barnes. Again, not seeing each other, not seeing him for 34 years, and again, both grown adults. So it's like it makes no sense for them to like keep hating each other.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, that's just how I see it. And then if they do like a sequel series, and this is a big if, and I'm not saying that it will happen. I'm not even saying that's in the cards, or even that the writers are even thinking about it. But if they do like a sequel series with Sam and Tori as adults, where they hadn't seen each other in like maybe not 34 years, but like a few years, like maybe 5,
Like
5 years. That's the series I could see them being friends on, because they would be able to build that up right from the beginning. But to me, to make it after everything that they've done to each other, and considering how much they've built up their hatred towards each other, at least calming it down in the season 5 finale, it just seems a bit too forced and rushed if they made them friends at that point.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want that. I would rather have them just be allies if they're going to do that. I don't want anything rushed. Nothing. I want season 6 to be absolutely phenomenal with the characters, with the story, everything. And biggest thing too is the biggest thing too is I want there to be a scene where Tori forgives herself too. Not just getting Sam's forgiveness, but where Tori can actually forgive herself and just let go of the past.
Yeah.
Because it's like, even though she definitely owes Sam an apology, she definitely does,
Definitely.
and she definitely
And
needs to start.
Daniel
What? Yeah, and Daniel,
and Daniel and Amanda as well.
and she needs to start showing remorse. Like, it's funny,
Yeah.
she'll show remorse for things she did on accident, and like the elbow to Sam's eye, and she'll do things, and she'll feel remorse and regret for things she had no control over. But for the things that she did do intentionally, like the school fight, bullying Sam, continuing to bullying her afterwards, the house fight, the assaults, like those things she did intentionally, the attempted murder on Sam, like those things she did, she made clear she was doing, and she knew exactly what she was doing, and she was doing it intentionally. Where's that remorse? Where's that remorse? And it's, so I think that Tori needs to get forgiveness from from two people, from Sam and from herself. Sometimes when getting forgiveness from others is a lot is easier than you think, but when it comes to forgiving yourself, when you know that how much you caused, when you know the pain that you caused others, and you feel that pain within yourself, you just can see it and feel it. It's kind of like it's really hard. It's really hard to forgive yourself, especially when you look back on what you did, and you're not very proud of it, and you're very ashamed. And Chosen can understand that better than anybody, because he's gotten forgiveness from everybody, but he's still struggling to forgive himself.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, do you think that makes sense, Cobra Kai world?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
What are your predictions, or theories that you hope to see happen?
Hope to see Samantha and Anthony have a real bond, like a real um brother sister, duo.
Oh
Like
yeah.
not him like saying, I just love using the internet. You're going to hell, right?
I know. You have to admit though, Anthony did kind of have that coming. I mean,
Yeah,
he was the one that
yeah,
told
100%.
Amanda.
He was being a smartass. And I thought that was a nice comeback from Sam.
Yeah.
She was like, "You're going to hell, you know that, right?"
Oh, and you know something would have been so much hilarious,
Yeah,
that if they added
she's
this in
like,
a deleted scene for
yeah,
season 4, if it was Sam, when Anthony got grounded and wasn't allowed any screens, what if
yeah.
it was Sam that actually was the one that suggested that to Daniel and Amanda? I was like, take away his laptop, his iPad, and his smartwatch, all of
Oh,
his
that would have been
screen.
funny. Ultimate
And
revenge for Sam.
yeah.
Yeah, and Anthony's response was like, well, all the coolest people go to hell.
And he actually thought he was one of them
Yep,
at that time. Yeah, I want
yep,
to see a training moment between Sam and Anthony.
yeah,
I definitely want to do that. I was hoping we would get it in a deleted scene from season 5. I knew it was a long shot,
yeah.
but now it's like we have
And
to get it in
yeah,
season
the
6.
the deleted scenes were not like good, except for the Tori and Devin one. I like that one,
Yeah,
but all the other ones were just like there was like most of them had like Mitch in it. I'm like, okay, I understand why this got cut. Yep.
yeah. Especially when Mitch said, "There's no way in hell I'm joining Cobra Kai or
Yeah,
going back to
and
Cobra Kai."
then he just
We
ended
all
up eating his
know.
own words.
Yeah,
Just
we
ate
all
his own
know.
words.
Yeah, and But I like I like the Tori and Devin and Kim scene, deleted scene. I like the Sam and like any scene that they have Sam and Anthony in, like just bonding. That I like that too. I like that scene where Sam actually showed where she was Daniel's daughter, because Daniel actually said the same thing to Sam that she just said to Anthony. It's like, you don't have to do this. And Anthony was like, yeah, but I want to do this. This is not just for me, but for dad. And oh yeah, you.
Yeah.
What about you? Were there any others?
I would like to see Sean come back one last time and get
Oh yeah.
like actually see him and Kenny and Robbie on like one conversation, or just like a trio fight of Sean, Kenny, and Robbie versus, you know, some Cobra Kai students. And I'm not saying that Sean has to compete in the tournament. He could be rooting for his brother on the sidelines, but I would like to see, you know, Sean come back one last time and have a meaningful role. Like
Yeah. He'll kill them
nothing
all.
too nothing too crazy or anything, but like just a meaningful role that, you
Yeah.
know, pushes Kenny's redemption.
Mm-hmm. He'll kill them all. Like if
Oh yeah,
he
100%.
he get into a fight with Cobra Kai, he gets into a fight with Cobra Kai, he'll kill them all.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and especially like if Kyler's like, all right, who's next? And then Sean steps up, and Kyler's gonna be shaking his boots.
Yeah. It's like, well, never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd
Something
love to
else.
see Sam get some revenge on Kyler as well.
That's what I was just about to say, is like, there's something else I want to see happen. I want to see Sam beat, like, just like just get some payback on Kyler.
Yeah,
Like, I think they're sort of setting it up a little bit, because it's like they haven't had any interactions after that, but like, he saw Anthony. Anthony didn't mention Sam's name. He just said, "You dated my sister." And Kyler's only response was, "I date a lot of sisters." So I
yeah,
kind of feel like that was like kind of like setting it up. Like, maybe Kyler might like go after Anthony, and Sam sees it, and may God have mercy on Kyler's soul after that.
yeah.
Anything else?
I would like to see another Sam and Tori team up fight against
Yeah,
Sensei Kim students. That would be cool.
yeah, I would too. I would too. I
But
think.
I would love to
What?
see Julie Pierce versus Sensei Kim as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Absolutely. And imagine if it gets revealed that Sensei Kim actually knew Julie. Like, just like like, I mean, I know there's no way she knows Julie, but just kind of like,
Yeah,
um just kind of like, wouldn't that be like a surprise, like if they already hated each other once they
yeah,
see
that'd
once
be that'd take me off guard. I'd be shocked if somehow they already knew each other.
and hated each other.
Yeah. I think Julie Pierce is the perfect you know, person to go against Sensei Kim, because
Hmm.
it would just be weird to have all the other senseis go against Kim, because like, you know, she's not beating Chosen, she's not beating Johnny, she's not beating Daniel, she's not beating Mike, she's not beating who else? Who else did I miss?
um
She's not beating Silver. She's
Daniel.
not beating Silver. I already
Yeah,
did. I
or
already said.
Kreese. I don't think they're gonna fight. I don't
Yeah,
think Kreese and Kim are gonna fight.
she has
And this.
she has a slight chance against Kreese because of his age, but I still think Kreese could beat her.
Yeah,
And
and
then
it's
if you
got
look
nothing
at
to do.
all the female, like if you look at all the female fighters, Tori's not beating her. She got destroyed by Kim. Sam is not beating her. Sam did put up a good fight, but Sensei Kim just outpowers her and
Yeah,
just, you know, it has the experience factor and the strength.
yeah,
And Devin's definitely not beating her because Devin can even beat Tori and Sam, so she's not beating
no,
like a experienced adult sensei. So I think out of the girl fighters, Julie has the best shot because she's an adult. She's around the same age as Kim Dayun, and she does have training experience under the GOAT himself, Mr. Miyagi.
yes. And something else too. I just want to make this clear. It's not a case where, oh, uh, Johnny and Daniel and Chosen and Mike Barnes could beat Sensei Kim because they're male, she's female. It's just got to
Yeah,
do with it's just got to do with a lot of like where strength and height and you lie, like
yeah,
I mean, and for all we know, Sensei Kim like could really be a deadly weapon. Like, cause she was trained by
yeah.
her grandfather, who is the anti Mr. Miyagi. And
Oh yeah,
so she was definitely playing. She could have killed Tori and Sam if she wanted to. Like, if
oh
she
yeah,
really wanted to,
definitely.
she could kill them. She was playing with them. I also kind of want to see more of Sensei Kim's past a little bit. Like,
Oh yeah, me too.
I think it's gonna be like revealed that she's like the dark combination of Sam and Tori, like
Oh yeah,
where she was like
100%.
Sam when she was little, because I do see some similarities. You know, like like she was both of them were trained by their respective grandfathers in the ways of their family's karate. Both have the feeling that they have this legacy on their shoulders to carry on and spread the family legacy in any way possible. You know, they both have the family's legacies on their shoulders. Um, and I think it's kind of gonna get revealed that maybe Sensei Kim was a lot like Sam when she was younger, but gradually became more like a dark version of Tori when she fell under Kreese's wing. Darker, considering that who her grandfather is.
Yeah,
Um, and she obviously, and I think he might have instilled fear in her, like to not cross him because she was hiding um, from her grandfather when he was training
yeah,
John Kreese in silver, and Kreese had to cover for her. Like he was, like I don't know, maybe he was afraid that he was gonna beat her or something
yeah,
if he found her there. And believe it or not, I think she's gonna also show she's also going to represent to Sam, like this is the dark path Sam could have gone down if she hadn't stopped and taken a pause in karate and just reflected on her own actions and not showing
yeah.
peace not showing peace and forgiveness. What you doing? I hear some typing.
Uh, Found something. Just give me one second.
Oh, anyone else want to come on and join the stream?
All right, so got an update from Deadline, which is very reliable source. So
Okay.
SAG AFTRA Studios negotiations to continue Friday and next week. Talks proceeding calmly.
Okay.
So I guess you can consider that a good sign. So looks like it's going to take more than this week to get a deal done, but it is better than nothing, though. I do think this is a positive update. So,
I mean, we're more than halfway
you guys
there.
want to read the article for yourself? You guys want to read the article yourselves? You just go on Deadline, and it should be right there. But negotiating committee joined the picket line today with a message for the members. We're going to bring this home. We urge you to continue coming to picket lines and solidarity events and showing your support on social media. So I think that is a good sign. So I just wanted to bring that up.
That's good. Yeah. If it keeps up, I mean, I agree with you, CKW, that it could end next week.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Just gonna take a little bit of patience, but it is, you just gotta trust the process.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. Do you think that Yasmin is going to apologize to Aisha finally? I do think they should bring Aisha back as like a guest. Because it is the final season, so why not? And like she won't have like a big role or anything, just like a farewell send off. Because like I said, it's the last season, so it'd be cool to see Aisha one last time.
Yeah, I don't know about Yasmin necessarily apologizing. I mean, if they were like the central characters, then if Yasmin was a central character, then I could see it. But I just think that they both moved past it at this point. Like,
yeah, Aisha did what she needed to do. She humbled Yasmin, and yeah.
And now Yasmin's dating Dimitri.
Yeah. Aisha's reaction to that would be freaking hilarious.
No, forget it. Forget Aisha. What about Johnny's reaction to that?
Oh yeah, we need to get Johnny's reaction to that. Johnny's gonna be like, Johnny's gonna be like, "Are you shitting me?"
I know, because remember when not only is she the girl that ran into his car, in episode 1, but she's also. But do you remember like Johnny's reaction when Miguel said that Dimitri had a girlfriend, and Johnny was like, "Oh yeah, I'm sure she's some looker." It's like, and it's disbelief. Like he thought she was ugly. Literally sees her.
He's like, how the hell did you pull that off?
It's like, and Dimitri's gonna be like, I honestly have no idea.
Yeah.
Because that's the same thing he said to Hawk when Hawk asked him. It's like, how did you get this? It's like,
yeah.
I honestly don't know.
I'll be honest with you, man. I have no idea. He's gonna be like, I'll be honest with you, man. I have no idea how you pulled it off, and he's like, me neither. And do you think Robbie's going to get payback on Hawk and injure him when his back's turned? No.
No. They're back.
I think
they're past
Hawk.
that.
I think Robbie and Hawk are all right.
They made peace with each other.
I don't think they're really friends, but like they are getting along. Like Robbie was like, "Hey, you changed your hair color," and he's like, Hawk's like, "Yeah, the green wasn't really suiting me." So that to me says like they're on good terms.
Yeah.
Like that was cool to see. Robbie ask him like you're not rolling with the green, and he's like, nah, I'm just not feeling it. So he
Yeah.
changes it
I
to
think they're
blue.
past. Honestly, I think all four are, yeah, like all four of the same. Sam, Robbie, Miguel, Tori, even Hawk and Dimitri are just past the point. And Sam and Anthony are getting on that road. They're past the point of just wanting payback on each other. Now they, they now they're but and now they're willing to work together. Like they've grown and matured, and they've learned their lessons, and that's all they and that's all it really is. And it's like they're on a better road. So I think they're way past the payback, because now they're going to have a new enemy to face that's really going to show them truly what No Mercy is.
Yeah.
Sensei Kim's students.
Yeah, she has an
They
army of
fought.
senseis, and she probably has an army of students.
Yep. And how much do you want to bet that when season 6 begins, the Miyagi Fangs are going to be in a false sense of security? And that's
Oh
when
yeah.
Sensei
Oh boy.
Kim's students are going to strike them hard.
Yeah, they're gonna be. Yeah, they're gonna be way too comfortable.
Yeah. They're going to be in for a rude awakening. And the only way that I could see them being snapped out of it is if there's an attack, like where they
Yeah.
get not badly injured enough to where they can't compete in the Sekai Tekai, but injured enough to where they're like, they've been warned. It's
Yeah.
not over.
I can see that. I could also see a scenario where they're at the tournament and they're announcing all the dojos, and then they say, we have one more dojo to announce, and they say Cobra Kai, and then they're like, what the fuck?
I don't know necessarily though, because I think they're going to find out beforehand
Yeah, they probably
that
will.
because it makes more sense, because they entered the Sekai Tekai to stop Cobra Kai. So it wouldn't make
Yeah.
any sense to have them continue to go into the Sekai Tekai and not realize that Cobra Kai is still there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
it
right
doesn't.
now, they think because Silver is out of the picture that Cobra Kai is not a threat anymore.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of stand by what I also said. I think Sensei Kim is going to want to kill Sam if Sam beats her top
Yeah.
student,
Oh
and that's
yeah.
when I think
100%.
And that's when I think Tori's really going to start to understand what she really did to Sam in that school fight, because I guarantee she's going to be having like Tori's going to see Sam getting attacked, just like how Sam saw Tori getting attacked in the season 5 finale by Sensei Kim. And she's going to have they're going to do sort of like a callback to the school fight, where Sam's moving the same way she moved, and Sensei Kim is moving the same way Tori moved, and she picks Tori, Sensei Kim picks up a weapon, and this time Sam is too badly injured and she's got Sam pinned down, and Sam is too badly injured to block Sensei Kim to stop her, and that's when Tori flashes back to the school fight, and she understands, she gets it, and that's when Tori pulls a Hawk move, and she knocks Sensei Kim off of Sam, like the way Sam knocks Sensei Kim off of Tori.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Have you ever thought about doing any theory videos, just like what we talked about? Just regular videos, not live streams.
I've thought about it because I haven't made a regular video in months.
Yeah. I think that would be, yeah, that would be good. If you did do
Yeah.
a video, like theory video, what would be your first one?
I don't know yet, to be honest.
Oh, without a doubt, that Sensei Kim's students are going to go at the Miyagi-Do or Miyagi-Fang students at the tournament with full force. Definitely. And how much do you want to bet that Sensei Kim actually, you know how like in tournaments, how some players like they'll put like padding on their hands that have like
Yeah.
like something really hard in them, like so that when they get hit or when they hit somebody, like they injure them. How much do you want to
Yeah.
bet that Sensei Kim tells her top student to not only re-injure Tori's hand, but she gives her the padding, with stones in it or something, or really hard sand or something, and
Oh,
and
damn.
she tells her to break her hand, re-break her hand.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
And that student wholeheartedly obliges.
Yep.
With Johnny, whenever with Johnny, and we get kind of like a reversal, like in the Karate Kid, in the previous Karate Kid, where both where Kreese told both Bobby and Johnny to put Daniel out of commission, and they were reluctant to do so. But this student is not reluctant, like doesn't hesitate whatsoever. And something else too is how I can see how Sam and Tori can help each other in a sense is that Sam's gonna need some rage in her if she's gonna survive. Not too much range where it blinds her, but like Sam is gonna need some rage if she's gonna survive that tournament and not get taken out. Like she's gonna need to
Yeah.
add some anger into her karate. And how much do you want to
Yeah.
bet that once Tori is put out of commission, that Sam not only steps up, but she's so like enraged and angry that when that student tries to pull the same move on her that she did Tori, that Sam actually, like, she's so angry and she's so angry that she breaks it, and that's how she gets the win.
Oh, yeah. That'd be awesome.
I mean, I know that's kind of like a biggie, but like, I don't know. Do you think it's possible?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because Sam definitely does have an aggressive side. So
Yeah.
I think if we see that amped up, that would be amazing.
Yeah. Like she had that vision, like where she was in a dark gi, like where she was like, and one could say it was Cobra Kai. And let's not forget how well she took to Johnny's teachings. So it's like, I think it was shown that she does have this side of her. I mean, even though she's scared of it, but I think Tori and Chosen, and maybe Mike Barnes could teach her to not to be, like, to just let it out when it's necessary, like when the time calls for it, when it's necessary. Like Mike Barnes, he's generally a nice guy in season 5. He's generally a good guy, but he still is karate's bad boy, and we got to see him let that out in the season 5 finale. So it's kind of like, think of it like the Hulk. Like when he's not angry, he's generally this nice guy you could easily get along with. And but if you push him and you push him too far and he gets angry, that's when the Hulk comes out.
Yep.
So I kind of see it like that, like, Mike Barnes is a very nice guy, but you push him too far and Karate's bad boy comes right out. Same thing with Chosen. Chosen, generally a nice guy, but push him too far and the fight to the death Chosen comes out.
Yep.
And Terry Silver's well aware of that. And same thing. And so now, and I think that they could teach that to Sam, like it's okay to have this dark side and it's okay to let it out, but just make sure that it's at the right time, as long as it's the right time and the right place. And as long as you don't let it control you completely. Because Johnny said it best. Sam needs a little aggression.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. If anything, it's healthy too. I mean, not the way Tori was doing it, where she was breaking into Sam's house and trying to kill Sam, but where she was full on complete, where she had nothing but rage in her. But that's where the balance is, That's where balance comes in.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, and thank you, Underground Jedi, for liking my theory. But yeah, if you could do a theory video on that, like where Sensei has her top student break Tori's hand the way that I said, like the padding or some like the padding, and that's when Sam steps up, and that causing Sam to step up and face her and get, thanks to Barnes and Chosen's and even Tori a little bit, finally lets her rage out and beats her top student and beats Sensei Kim's top student.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Well, I gotta go.
All
right. Thank you so much for doing this for me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Do you want me to put that theory in the comment section whenever this is done? This way you can see it.
I can remember it. So I can actually remember all the details and try to make a video on it.
Yeah. All right. Have a good night. Have a great night, everyone. Guys, you guys are the best around.
All right. Do you think that we could see the move that Anthony was going to use, but Daniel stopped him? Do you think we'll see that move this season? Yeah, absolutely. I think it's time to see that technique that was on the scroll that Anthony was looking at. I want to see it used because we saw them reveal the the frick did Silver call it? The move that he taught Kenny. Silver Bullet. I don't know why I forgot the name of it. So Silver taught Kenny the Silver Bullet. So I think Anthony should learn this technique that was on the scroll. I'm not saying he's going to use it against Kenny. Absolutely not. But I do think that this technique will be used in some sort of way. If that makes sense. But yeah, I do want to see how that technique on the scroll is used. I don't think they teased it for nothing. I mean, you see Miguel land that tornado kick this time. Yeah, I agree. I definitely want to see him use the tornado kick in the tournament. I think probably the most exciting thing about this whole season is the tournament because it's different. It's not the All Valley anymore. It's a world tournament. So, really interesting to see how different the format is compared to the All Valley, because the All Valley is just a local tournament. The Sekai Tech is a global tournament. Absolutely, man. It's going to be 10 times bigger than the All Valley. Hopefully, Netflix actually uses that big budget and invests in like big, tournament mats and everything else. Like, we need a whole stadium, a whole karate tournament stadium. So I'm kind of concerned that not every character will get their story wrapped up. Yeah, that's fair, but I think the writers will pull it off. I want the teens to get closure and a happy ending. I want the adults to get their happy ending as well. Like Amanda finally gets that relief that the karate drama is like officially over, and she can enjoy her life with Daniel and her family and everything else. And then Johnny and Carmen get married, and they enjoy their family and everything else. So I do want to see Sam and Tori get closure on their rivalry. Or like they don't have to be friends, but they're not enemies anymore. Like they're they end off on good terms, if that makes sense. Cinema Fan 97 says, I think it'd be cool if the show ends with Johnny and Daniel having their Rocky 3 fight. Yeah, that would be cool. I was about to say that, like, because I recently watched Rocky 3, and it ends with Creed and, I'm sorry, Apollo Creed and Rocky Balboa getting into ring and having like a friendly fight, and the movie just um, cuts to credits afterwards. Like that'd be, bro, that'd be freaking awesome if we see Johnny and Daniel at the beach where they met 34 years ago and get into a fighting stance, and Daniel gets into the crane kick position while Johnny gets into his fighting stance, and they go at it, and then it just cuts to credits. Like that'd be cool. That'd be such a cool way to end off the series. That'd be a great way to end off the show on a high note. Yeah, man, it's gonna be so emotional when the end credits come because I think we're all gonna have tears and be like, "No, it's over." In my opinion, it would be the ideal ending for the show. Yeah, I agree. I've been recently researching YouTube clips about karate world tournaments, and those tournaments are crazy. Yeah, I bet. Real life tournaments are insane. We got a D-Man here, best versus editor on YouTube. Hey man, I can't stay tonight, but I want to stop by. Oh, thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. Go subscribe to him if you haven't already. What if they had a round in the tournament, the knockout round? That would be interesting. That would be. I mean, it's possible if they had a knockout round. That'd be intense. That's the word I was looking for. That'd be really intense if they had a knockout round for the tournament. That'd be insane. One thing I want them to do that they didn't do in season 4 is, amp up the urgency. Like, I want this tournament to have, more urgency towards it. So it felt like in season 4 when, like you're only a few episodes away from the All Valley and there was like a huge lack of urgency. I want them to fix that in this season. Like, have more urgency towards this tournament. And they did say that season 6 is going to be bigger, better, and better. And that's why I think that the knockout round is going to happen among other things in the season. Yeah, I can totally see that. How cool do you think it would be if not only Johnny and Carmen get married, but Miguel and Sam get married and Robbie and Tori get married as well? Well, Miguel and Sam, Robbie and Tori, I think they will, but not um in like the show. Like if those two are gonna get married, it would be way down the line because right now they're just way too young for that. They're all only 17. Um, but I do think, maybe in a new series, Miguel and Sam will get married and Robbie and Tori will get married for sure. Because like the vibe of the show wants those two couples to stay together. Yeah, it's TUC for Miguel, Sam, Robbie, and Tori to get married. Engagement probably, but marriage too soon. Yeah, I do think Robbie and Tori will stick together. Miguel and Sam, I think they'll eventually get married, like later on down the line. But we'll see. It happens to me too, bro. It's all good. think they shouldn't change the name. I think they should stick with Miyagi-Do. I agree, man. Like, what's the point of Eagle thing? Like, just keep it Miyagi-Do. Like, respect Mr. Miyagi's legacy. Come on. Who do you think are a better couple, Hawkamoon or Dimitri and Yasmin? I don't know. We really don't get that much of either. So I think they're the same. If I'm being honest with you, because we really don't get that much of them. Like we didn't get any Dimitri and Yasmin scenes in season 5. I was surprised. And yeah, Eli and Moon, they're all right, I guess. They're not my favorite, but they're a good fit. They got good chemistry. I mean, both couples have good chemistry. They're just not my favorite, if I'm being honest. But I think Dimitri and Yasmin's a bit more inspirational because, well, actually, because well, Eli flipped the script and he got Moon. He had to flip the script twice to get it, so he did it twice. He flipped the script in season 1. He got Moon, and then in season 4, he flipped the script again, and he won Moon back. So there you go. Dimitri, like I just like the concept of it. Like he's a nerd, but he won his dream girl. So yeah, that's basically how I view those two couples. Not fantastic, but they're not terrible. They're good couples. So I'll just say that. Don't hate them. Don't love them either. I like them. They're cool. But bit off topic. For those of you who like sports and specifically basketball, basketball season is coming soon. It's right around the corner, I believe. The first preseason game is tomorrow. Cobra Kai Karate's favorite team, the Minnesota Timberwolves, are taking on his most hated team, the Dallas Mavericks. Karate just hates Dallas teams, apparently, for whatever reason. I don't know why, but it is what it is. Just doesn't like Dallas. But what do you think would be the most emotional scene in season 6? I'm going to say Tori losing her mom. I'm going to go with that, to be honest with you. But who knows? But anyway, So we have the Sportsville podcast on Friday. I assume we're doing our Week 5 predictions. And we'll be talking about a little bit about NBA. And quick plug, October 6th, I think, NHL 24 is coming out on Xbox and PlayStation. So let me double check that. See. Yep, October 6th. EA is releasing NHL 24 for PS5 and Xbox. So PS5, PlayStation 4 and 5, and then Xbox One and Series XS, or whatever you want to call it. So for those of you who love hockey. Yes, J.C. Jackson is going back to the Patriots. I like that move. He's a temporary replacement for Christian Gonzalez. It's a goddamn shame because he was on track to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. And, he was asked to guard tough receivers like week 1, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith from the Eagles. Week 2, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Which, by the way, Tyreek Hill is one of the most explosive wide receivers in the league, and Christian Gonzalez, a rookie, held him to 40 yards and 1 touchdown. That's insane. And then he had to contain Garrett Wilson from the Jets in week 3. And then week 4, he did the best he could against CeeDee Lamb, but, that injury just set the tone for the whole game. Who would I like to see Tori's mom? Who play Tori's mom? Honestly, don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know any good options. I mean, she might just disappear. To be honest, like we may never see Tori's mom on screen. Unfortunately. But back to what I was saying. I wanted to give you guys my NBA standings predictions because I don't think I'll get the opportunity to do it on Sportsville. I don't know if Karate's going to have us do NBA standings predictions or not, but I would like to show you guys my standings predictions. So you just get share screen set up. Few ideas: Rhea Seahorn, Melissa Joan Hart, and Mary Elizabeth Ellis. I'll be honest with you, I don't know who any of those people are. I'm gonna just be honest. I've never even heard of any of them. But here we go. So we're going to start off with the Western Conference. And yeah, we'll start from the worst. I think that is going to be the Spurs. So the Spurs are going to have a lot of attention this season because of Victor Wemby. He was the number 1 overall pick. Of course, the Spurs get another generational talented big man. They got David Robinson in the 90s. They got Tim Duncan. Why not? David Robinson. I think they got him in the 80s, but they got Tim Duncan in the late 90s. And then, of course, they get Victor Wembanyama, the 7'4" center. Definitely very exciting prospect. Can't wait to see how he does. Hopefully he's not a bust, but a lot of people are saying, I believe he only played like 2 or 3 summer leagues games this year, but I don't really want him to play in the summer league that much, which I'm not even a Spurs fan, but like it's smart not to let him play because in the summer league that much because you don't want him getting injured. But I do think the Spurs definitely have a bright future. They just got to keep tanking for lottery picks and build a good team around Wemby. But they have Devin Vassell, which I think is very underrated. He's a solid 3-point shooter. And then Keldon Johnson's pretty good as well. They gave him an extension last year. So that'd be interesting. 14, I am putting the Utah Jazz. Oh, I just got to click it. The Jazz surprised a lot of people last season. Lauri Markkanen had a breakout year, best season of his career, and I think he's going to do even better this year. They got John Collins from the Hawks, which John Collins is probably one of the most mid players out there. Colin Sexton's decent. Jordan Clarkson's good. They re-signed him. Walker Kessler played really well. He was a Rookie of the Year finalist. But I think the Jazz will tank for lottery luck as well. The Jazz are going to be a good team in the future. But Raheem Sehorn is Kim Wexler from Better Call Saul. I've never watched that. Melissa Sabrina from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I never watched that. And Mary is the waitress from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I never watched that either. So that's probably why. But 13, I have the Portland Trailblazers. Now, they finally got rid of Damian Lillard. They have Scoot Henderson, which I think he's going to be really good. He's got the athleticism. I thought he was pretty good in Summer League. He's probably the most NBA ready out of all of the rookies this year. And I think, Scoot and Shaedon Sharpe had a great year last year. I think that's going to be their backcourt of the future. Hopefully they can actually build a good team around both of them and get them the good players that they need stuff. And I think they're both going to play great. But the Blazers I think they'll be kind of competitive, but they need to tank for lottery luck as well. But next is the Rockets, which they had a crazy offseason. They went spending. They stole Fred VanVleet from the Raptors. They gave him a 4-year deal. It's like $36 million or something ahead of that. They signed Dylan Brooks from the Grizzlies. The only reason they wanted him was for defense. Ime Udoka is a defensive-minded coach, and he's going to make this Rockets core embrace defense just like he did in Boston. They drafted Amen Thompson with the 4th overall pick. And Cameron Whitmore, who was projected to be a top 10 draft pick, fell all the way to their lap at pick number 20, and he actually won Summer League MVP. So I think the Rockets have a very bright future. And I don't think they'll be bad. I think they'll be good. But the reason I'm at 12 is they're in a really difficult Western Conference. And this Western Conference is loaded with talent. The West is very difficult. If the Rockets were in the East, then I think they would be a playoff team 100%. But they're in a really difficult Western Conference. But at 11, hot take, Golden State Warriors. I think the dynasty is almost over. They don't have a true big man. They traded for Chris Paul, which I don't know why they traded Jordan Poole. He was their future. But I guess they did that to keep Draymond Green around, which I don't think it's going to benefit them at all. I mean, he's a good defender, but he is getting older. Klay Thompson, his Achilles injury really, messed him up, which he's still good, but he's not anything what he used to be in 2016. Steph Curry is still amazing. Wiggins is a solid 3-and-D wing, but they're probably going to have to trade Wiggins because they gave him an extension last year, but because of the new CBA, they may end up having to move his contract to avoid getting penalized from the new CBA. And give Jonathan Kuminga a chance to blossom and everything. But eventually I think they'll have to move on from Klay and Draymond. But they won't trade Steph Curry. No matter where you are, you do not trade Steph Curry. I'm sure they'll surround him with young talent for sure. But get into the play-in. I have the New Orleans Pelicans at 10. Now, on paper, this Pelicans team is really good. They have Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum. The problem is Zion is never healthy. That's the problem. And he's never, like, in shape. Like, he was out, like, for a full season with, like, a ankle injury or leg season or leg injury. He only played, like, 30 games this season. Like, this dude needs to actually stay healthy, get into shape, and focus on playing basketball. Like, if the Pelicans can actually stay healthy, they can be like a top 6 team. But I have him here because Zion's never healthy, and he's always in trade rumors. And it's hard to believe that this dude was the number 1 overall pick like 4 years ago. So if Zion can stay healthy, I think the Pelicans can get in the playoffs. If not, like if they have another bad year and Zion's not healthy, they may end up trading him. But 9 seed, I have the Dallas Mavericks. Or sorry, yeah, the Mavericks. Oh, why didn't I put them there? Let me fix that real quick. Sorry. I meant to put them 9. So the Mavericks had a pretty solid off season, if you ask me. They re-signed Kyrie. They signed Grant Williams from the Celtics, unfortunately, and they drafted Derek Lively, and they got a couple bench pieces. So they got better defensively. Like Grant Williams is a solid defender. Derek Lively is a good rim protector. I think the Mavs will do decent this year. Despite how much Cobra Kai Karate hates the Mavericks, but I think they'll do good. 8 seed, I have the Thunder. Thunder are going to be a very exciting team. They have probably the most exciting young core in the league. They have SGA, Josh Giddey. Chet Holmgren's finally going to play after getting injured last season. They got Cason Wallace as a backup point guard in the draft. Yeah, you got to tip your hats to Sam Presti. He showed the league how to do a proper rebuild. Like, he just absolute masterclass. And the Thunder have like 30 first-round picks for the next 20 years. They can use those draft picks and like trades to bring in like really good players. So, shout out to the Thunder. Next up, we have Karate's favorite team, the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think they should be a playing team. I think Anthony Edwards is going to have a great year. Cat will be good. It'll be interesting to see if the Gobert and Cat experiment actually works, because we didn't get that much of it last season because Cat got hurt early, and the Timberwolves are struggling without him. And then when he came back, they were kind of turning it around a bit. They managed to win 1 game against the defending champs Nuggets, but went out in 5. So, but if the Cat Gobert experiment doesn't work, the Timberwolves need to trade Rudy Gobert somewhere. It's going to be tough because nobody wants that disgusting contract, but it is what it is. All right. One of the teams I hate the most, the Lakers. They should be like a 5 or 6 seed, maybe a little bit lower, but they had a rough start last year. They turned it around at the trade deadline. Rob Pelinka made some good moves and pretty much turned this Lakers team around. They got a nice roster. They got good depth too. They got Gabe Vincent from the Heat. They signed Christian Wood for cheap, which is still, in my opinion, Christian Wood is so underrated. They signed Cam Reddish for whatever reason. And they drafted Jalen Hood-Schifino, which I think that's a steal. They gave Austin Reeves a huge contract and brought back D'Angelo Russell. once again tried to get Kyrie Irving, but they just couldn't do it. But, obviously LeBron teasing retirement. I knew that was baloney. He's not going to retire. He wants to play with his son. So, and then Anthony Davis, of course, as long as he stays healthy, that's the thing. But next up is the other LA team, the LA Clippers. Now, on paper, when they're healthy, they're a championship contender. They have Kawhi Leonard, they have Paul George, they have Russell Westbrook. Like, on paper, this Clippers team looks really good. The problem is they're never healthy. Like, Kawhi is always missing time. Paul George is always missing time. Like Kawhi played in like 2 playoff games this year and then went out with an injury again. And then Russell Westbrook had to carry the team on his back. And Russell Westbrook was playing his heart out. Like, he looked amazing against the Suns. They got bounced in 5, but it was not Russell Westbrook's fault at all. Like I said, he played his absolute heart out. And the Clippers managed to bring him back on an LA discount. But if the Clippers are healthy, they should be a top 5 team in the West for sure. But 4th place, I have the Sacramento Kings, the Beam team. They shocked the league last year. Like, no one expected them to be a playoff team, but their culture, like, is about, like, the beam, and I love that. Like, every time they win a game, they light a beam in the sky, like a purple beam in the sky. Like, if you live, say, in, like, LA, and, like, Sacramento is not that far away from LA because it's California, you can see the beam all the way from California or San Francisco or wherever. Like, De'Aaron Fox is a phenomenal player. Sabonis is great. Like, they got a steal in Keegan Murray last year. Like this team is really good. And they definitely have a bright future for sure. All right, hot take is number 3, the Phoenix Suns. I like to call them the Phoenix Bums. I think trading for Bradley Beal is going to end up biting him in the ass. Like, I don't think this is going to work very well. Like, they don't have a traditional point guard. Like, Bradley Beal, he's not a point guard. He's a shooting guard, and they're having him play point guard. Kevin Durant's great. Devin Booker's great. They got rid of Ayton. It was quite clear that Ayton didn't want to be there, and he was just fed up. And the only reason he stayed in Phoenix was for the money. But they got rid of him. He's in Portland. They replaced him with Yusuf Nurkic, one of the most mid centers ever. They have a solid bench. I think they'll be a really good regular season team, but when it comes to the playoffs, I think they'll choke in the second round again. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But I think the Suns are being overhyped again. But 2 seed of the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, Ja Morant is serving a 25-game suspension to start the season, but he'll be back. They brought in Derrick Rose, which, he pulled up and said, like, hey, I'm not here to babysit. I didn't come here to babysit. So he let Ja know what's up, and I think they needed to get a veteran like Derrick Rose to set Ja Morant on the right path. And I think Derrick Rose is perfect for that. They also got Marcus Smart from the Celtics. That hurts as a Celtics fan because I absolutely loved Marcus Smart, but I think he's going to be great for Memphis. And as soon as his tenure in Memphis is over, he's coming back to Boston, 100%, because he loves Boston. But I think the Grizzlies will be very good. And then, of course, number 1, the defending champs, the Denver Nuggets, who arguably have the best starting 5 in the NBA, but they have one of the weakest benches in the NBA. I think at the trade deadline, they need to upgrade their bench. But Jokic is amazing. Jamal Murray is amazing. Michael Porter's underrated. Aaron Gordon's underrated. KCP's good. Like, it sucks that they lost Bruce Brown, but they still have their starting 5, and that's important. But I'll check the chat and see what you guys think so far. Tristan's back. Sup, CBK? How's it going? What do you think of the Bucks? I think they're overhyped. They essentially gave the Celtics Drew Holiday, which is going to end up shooting them in the foot. They traded the best perimeter defensive point guard in the league for a 33-year-old with hip problems. And the Celtics went through that with Kemba Walker. We'll know how that turned out. I don't think Dame in Milwaukee is going to work out very well. And that's not being biased. I'm not trying to be biased against the Bucks, but I don't think that Dame is going to make that much of a difference in Milwaukee, because Milwaukee making that trade, that they took their defense took a huge hit. Like, their defense got worse because of Dame Lillard, because Dame can't play defense very well. He's a great offensive player. He's a horrible defender. And Giannis, he's great defensively, and he's explosive on offense, but the dude can't shoot. He can't shoot free throws either. You can play the Hack-a-Simmons scheme on Giannis. So Tristan is back. How you think Patriots versus Saints is going to go? We should be able to beat the Saints because the Saints aren't that great. But Derek Carr is playing, which kind of concerns me. But I do think Mac Jones will have a better game. I don't think he's going to play nearly as bad as he did against Dallas. But Mac pretty much has like no help. So if they can actually get open, they should be able to beat the Saints at home. Like I'm optimistic that Mac's going to be able to turn things around, but we'll just have to wait and see. But Mac looks pretty good in the first 3 games of the season, and then he's just way too much pressure against Dallas, and I think it's all on him. I think Bill Belichick deserves a lot of blame. Like, he's a good coach, but he's a terrible GM. Like, he's made terrible decisions when it comes to the offense. Like, he's built a great defense, but he does nothing to help the offense. Like, he just signs random players and expects it to work out and expects the defense to win the game. And like Bill Belichick still thinks it's 2001 or 2004. Like he's 71 years old. He's freaking senile at this point. Like bro, it's not 2001. It's not 2004. You're in 2023. My God, my guy. Like, you need to get your quarterback reliable receivers. Like, if you look around the league, Pat Mahomes has Travis Kelce. Justin Herbert has Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler. Dak Prescott has CeeDee Lamb. Josh Allen has Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. Tua has Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. See who else. Joe Burrow has Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and Joe Mixon. Like, all those quarterbacks I just listed, like, they're great quarterbacks. Don't get me wrong, but they have weapons. You look at Mac Jones, he does not have any weapons. He has Hunter Henry, who is a solid tight end, but he's not like a number 1. He's like a number 2 or a number 3 on a team. Mike Gesicki's all right. You look at his wide receivers, Kendrick Bourne, solid. Devontae Parker, mid. Juju is terrible. His knees are pretty much broken. He can't even run. Our most explosive receiver is Demario Douglas, who doesn't get that much playing time. Like, he gets like 18 snaps a game, and that's it. And then the offensive line is horrible. Like, Trent Brown's our best offensive lineman. Cole Strange, he was projected to be a 3rd-round pick, and we took him in the 1st round. He's been absolutely horrible.
David Andrews is great. He's been on this team forever. Micah Onwenu, he's good, but he's had a horrible start this season. I do think he'll turn it around, but it's going to take a lot for the Patriots to re-sign him because he is a free agent this year. And then right tackle is easily the weakest position on the offensive line. Like, this offensive line is easily like a bottom 5 offensive line. But I think like Bill shouldn't be the GM anymore. Like, I'm fine if he's the coach, but we need like a different GM because it's not working. Like, he refuses to give Mac any help, like whatsoever. Like all the quarterbacks I just listed, like Lamar Jackson, he has freaking Mark Andrews and Odell and Zay Flowers. You look at the Eagles, Jalen Hurts has AJ Brown, Dallas Goedert, Devontae Smith, or DeAndre Swift and Devontae Smith. Like, Hurts has weapons. Like, Kirk Cousins has freaking Justin Jefferson. Like, there's a bunch of other quarterbacks that have weapons. Mac Jones doesn't have any help whatsoever. And, I'm not like, I'm gonna hold him accountable too. Like, he's made bad throws as well. Don't get me wrong. Like, he's had bad decision making, but he's a quarterback on a rookie scale contract. And the O-line is not giving him enough time to throw the ball. Like, it's not. No worries, Cobra Kai Club. Exactly, Tristan. Really hope season 6 introduces new characters. Okay. And the Chargers went on a bye week considering the injuries Eckler, Joey Bosa, and Justin Herbert have. Wow, the Chargers have a lot of injuries to deal with. I believe they're 2-2. 49ers most likely going to give us their second loss. Yeah, the Niners are really freaking good. Like, Brock Purdy, look at all the weapons he has. He has Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, freaking Christian McCaffrey. They have a good O-line too, and they have a stacked defense. Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Tre'Davious Ward. I probably said that name wrong, but Niners have a freaking stacked defense as well. Arguably the best defense in the NFL. But yeah, Niners are definitely making it to the Super Bowl. They're definitely winning the NFC.
can see us beating the Eagles because every team the Eagles beat, they almost lost. Yeah, they almost lost the Patriots and the Commanders. November 5th should be a good game. Chargers versus Cowboys on the 16th of this month. Just hope that the Chargers get better by then. Yeah, I'm sure they will. And did you see the fight that broke out with the Charger Raiders fan? No, I did not. 100% sure the Raiders fan probably started it. But I'll get into my Eastern Conference standings predictions. Because the East should be easier because it's not as loaded as the West. I mean, the East is getting better, but it's not as, loaded. All right, so here's the Eastern Conference. All right, so worst in the East is going to be the Wizards. They finally traded Bradley Beal. They got rid of Porzingis, gave him to my Celtics. They re-signed Kyle Kuzma, which they might deal him at the trade deadline. But finally, the Wizards woke up and smelled the coffee and are heading to a rebuilding phase. They have Jordan Poole, which I think he'll be the future of their team. I think he'll be phenomenal because he's not under Curry's shadow anymore. Like, he gets to blossom into his own player. So I think he'll be a very exciting player to watch in DC. But that's my 2 cents on the Wizards. 14, the Hornets. They are getting Miles Bridges back, which is insane. But he's a very talented player, but he had some off-the-court legal issues and stuff, but that got resolved. I believe he's going to miss the first 10 games of the season because of the legal problems he had off the court. He got suspended for 20 games. He already served 10 of those games, so he's going to serve another 10 to start the season. And They drafted Brandon Miller over Scoot Henderson. We'll see how that works out. LaMelo Ball, very talented player. Mark Williams had a good year last year. I think he'll play pretty well for them. But Michael Jordan is no longer the owner of this team, so he ended up selling this team to somebody else. So he no longer has control over what the Hornets do. But hopefully they make smarter decisions in the future. 13, we got the Detroit Pistons. They got a nice young core. They're finally getting Cade Cunningham back. They picked him. They selected him with the first overall pick 2 years ago. He started off well last year, then of course got injured. Jaden Ivey looked phenomenal last season. Jalen Duren looks pretty good. They drafted Asar Thompson, Amon's brother, twin brother, with the 5th overall pick in this year's draft. I think the Pistons' young core will be good, but they won't be good enough to be a playing team yet. But it's just going to take a little bit of patience. Next is the Toronto Raptors. And now the Raptors are kind of in a difficult situation where they're a moratorium where they're not contenders, but they're not a lottery team either. And they need to pick a direction quick. And thing with Siakam, he wants to stay in Toronto. He doesn't want to play for any other team but the Raptors. And Cy Majuri thinks his players are worth more than they actually are. Like the Grizzlies offered the Raptors 3 first-round picks for OG Anunoby, and they said no. So, I guess he's a ride or die with his players. Like, he could have traded Van Vliet at the deadline for, some draft picks for value, but nope, he decided to keep him, and he let him walk for nothing. So it's quite clear that he's content with losing his players for nothing. So, like the Raptors, don't get me wrong, I love rooting for the Raptors, but their future's looking pretty bleak. So I think Scotty Barnes will have a great year. He had a promising rookie year. He kind of took a step back in year 2, but I think he'll have a bounce back year this season and be really good. 11 is the Chicago Bulls. They need to pick a direction as well. They're in the same spot as the Raptors, where they're not contenders, but they're not a lottery team either. Like, they really can't tank either because I don't even know if they have a first-round pick this year. But, on paper, like, DeRozan and Levine's phenomenal, but that's not good enough to contend for a championship. And the Lonzo Ball situation sucks because I thought it was a great signing. The Bulls wanted Lonzo. Lonzo wanted to go there. It made sense. And when Lonzo was healthy, this team was first in the East. But unfortunately, he goes down with an injury, and he's out for not 1 but 2 seasons. He missed the second half of the 2022 season, missed the entire season last year, and then he's going to be out this year as well. But he said he's coming back at some point. It's not this season, probably next season, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But want to see Lonzo make a comeback and, play well. But writing's kind of on the wall for this Bulls team. They should probably consider blowing it up and just tanking for lottery luck. But apparently that's not the direction they want to go in. They want to give DeRozan an extension. They gave Zach LaVine a huge contract last year, and they gave Vucevic an extension. So it's quite clear that they have no interest in rebuilding and want to roll with the core that they have. So 10 spot, I have the Indiana Pacers, a very exciting team. Tyrese Halliburton, very good player. Benedict Mathurin had a pretty impressive year last year. They drafted Jarris Walker. They got Obi Toppin from the Knicks. They signed Bruce Brown to a massive contract. They have Buddy Hield, who's very good. But very exciting young core. Pacers have a very bright future. And so 9 seed Brooklyn. Last year they were dealing with the Kyrie KD drama, and They wouldn't extend Kyrie, so Kyrie demanded a trade. They traded him to Dallas, and then they shipped off Kevin Durant to Phoenix for Mikal Bridges, which I think in the long run, the Nets will end up winning that trade because Mikal Bridges is a very good player, very underrated. He's a great 3-and-D guy. Can shoot the three ball very well, and he plays excellent defense. And he's got the nickname Iron Man because he's never missed a game in his career. He's always healthy, so he's a very reliable player. And people were lining up for his services at the trade deadline. Like there were teams offering like 3 first-round picks for him. Nets say no, they want to hang on to him. They want to build around him, which is smart. And I think they'll have a breakout year for them, sure. And they still have Ben Simmons, which Ben Simmons and Mikal Bridges starting in the backcourt. That looks good defensively, but we'll see what version of Ben Simmons they get. Apparently, he's the healthiest he's ever been since 2021. So if they get 2019 Ben Simmons, then that'll be good. If not, then Ben Simmons is cooked, I guess. But dude's just too afraid to shoot and dunk. But 8 seed, Orlando Magic. The Magic have a very exciting young core. Markelle Fultz is great when he's healthy. We haven't really seen much from Jalen Suggs, but hopefully he steps it up. Paulo Banchero, last year's first overall pick, had a very phenomenal season. He won Rookie of the Year. I think he'll have a breakout year this season, and he's the future of that Magic team. And they have a very bright future with him. Future Hall of Famer, in my opinion. Franz Wagner, very underrated. Wendell Carter, another underrated player. They have a very exciting, like I said, very exciting young core. They need to get rid of one of their guards, though, because they kind of have a logjam. But very exciting Magic core, in my opinion. 7 seed is the Atlanta Hawks, the most mid team in the NBA, in my opinion, which Trae Young and DeJounte Murray great, but the rest of the team is just mid. DeAndre Hunter, he's all right. Sadiq Bey, he's all right. Clint Capella has been in trade rumors. My personal opinion, they should trade Capella so they can start Okongwu because I think he's got potential. He just doesn't get that much playing time because of Capella. But 6 seed, the Philadelphia 76ers. Philly's just a mess. They're just falling apart. James Harden wants out. He's making training camp uncomfortable. I think Tyrese Maxey will be great for them, but I think they need to move on from Tobias Harris. Tucker is good. Joel Embiid, he won MVP last year. I think this could be his last year in Philly. I think this offseason he will request a trade, and I think the Rockets could trade for him. I think it'd be awesome if the Rockets were able to get Embiid, but Philly's just falling apart and is in shambles. 5 seed, the Knicks. Why did I put them there? There we go. So I got the 5 seed. Oh, I'm sorry. What am I saying? I meant Miami. Miami had 5. So Miami has passed, well, not really passed, but they missed out on Donovan Mitchell, Kevin Durant, and now Damian Lillard. And they missed out on Bradley Beal as well. And now they missed out on Damian Lillard. Lillard openly said he wanted to go to the Heat, and they just couldn't get him. And I think, they didn't have the best offer for Dame. Like, the Blazers made it clear they didn't want Tyler Hero because they already had enough guards. The Blazers had 4 guards that deserved playing time or deserved to start. They had a huge guard problem. But now that's been solved, and the Heat missed out on another star, and the roster got worse. Like, they lost Gabe Vincent, who was played a huge part in Miami's success. Max Strus, another important piece to their team. They lost him as well to the Cavs, which I'll get into them in a minute. They have 37-year-old Kyle Lowry as their starting point guard. Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler's great. Kevin Love past his prime. He's a solid veteran. Bam Adebayo is great. They have Caleb Martin, who's absolutely amazing. And yeah, the bench, like this Miami team just got worse. Now, you never know. They usually do better with less, but that remains to be seen. The Heat got a lot worse, and they need to do something. But going back to the Knicks, very surprising season last year. Jalen Brunson was amazing for them. Julius Randle needs to actually show up in the playoffs. And I think this is a make or break year for RJ Barrett. If he struggles this year, they may end up trading him in the offseason, but we'll see. But we're in the top three. Have the Cavs at number 3. Now, I actually think they're going to do better than the Bucks this year. Like, I think the Cavs are a dark horse contender, and I think they could potentially upset the Bucks because they're a lot younger team than Milwaukee. They're a little bit deeper. Darius Garland's great. Donovan Mitchell's great. Evan Mobley's going to have a breakout year, and I have him winning Defensive Player of the Year. Evan Mobley's great. And they have Jarrett Allen, who's their defensive anchor. They added Max Strus. They need a better 3-and-D small forward, but they have one of the best starting fives in the NBA, and I think they could potentially upset Milwaukee in a playoff series. But number 2, I have the Bucks. Yeah, they got better offensively, but defensively they got worse, and their window's closing because their team's old. Damian Lillard, 33 years old, has hip problems. Brooke Lopez is getting older. Yeah, they have a lot of old players, and it's not looking. The windows is starting to close. Milwaukee only has a few years left. And if they don't win a championship in like the next 2 years, Dame's contract's going to be over soon. If they don't win a championship, Dame's out of there and Giannis is out of there. But for me, it's a championship. It's championship or bust for the Bucks, in my opinion. But number 1, non-biased, the Celtics, they got a lot better. Brad Stevens pulled another masterclass offseason. He replaces Marcus Smart and Robert Williams with Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Marcus Smart and Robert Williams. I'm going to miss them dearly as a Celtics fan, but I think this Celtics team just upped their championship chances. Like, look at their starting 5. They arguably have the best starting 5 in the league. You have Drew Holiday, point guard, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Kristaps Porzingis, Al Horford. Like, Al Horford's still at 37 years old. He's still a great defender. He can still hit that 3 ball. And you have Derek White coming off the bench, which Derek White's very underrated. He's a good defender, and he's a great shooter. Now, their bench is a bit weak, and they should look into, making the bench better at the trade deadline. But the starting 5 is dangerous. And, I think the Celtics are the clear favorites to win the East. And I think that this is their year to win banner 18 this year, but just my opinion. Those are my East standings. So thought I'd throw in there. And yeah. So kind of lost my voice there, but very excited for basketball and hockey as well. But yeah. But those are my standings predictions, so let me know what you guys think. hope they are writing season 2 of School Spirits. Me too. Hopefully they plan it right, because Peyton needs to do season 6 for Cobra Kai before she does School Spirits season 2. And her hair grew back too, so it'll be interesting to see if they're gonna let her keep long hair for School Spirits, because she has short hair for season 1, so maybe she'll have long hair in season 2, but you never know. But very underrated show in my opinion. I think it's really good. But we'll probably go one more minute. Been live for 2 hours and 29 minutes, but we'll probably close off soon. But very good stream. This is one of my longer streams too. I usually just go for 2 hours, but this is one of my longer ones. So. All right. It's going to do it for this stream. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you all in the next one.